Hey guys, this is Horrible Hannibal, and you're watching Watch War Games. Today we got a 1v1. This guy named Feed. I was talking in the Discord with somebody about artillery, and they were trying to say why they thought that artillery was a unit that should be added to the game. And I was trying to explain to them the mechanics that I felt were being lost out on if that was to be included, and how I felt like it would actually rob the game of part of its essence. Um, Primarily, what you're actually trying to do is take fights where you're going to have a troop quality advantage, a terrain advantage, a numbers advantage, like you can do like a 2v1 conflict, like I just did there, or you want to have an economic advantage, or you want to be cycling out your injured troops better than your enemy. And some combination of that has to be used to take an advantage. So, like for instance, I've been the one doing all the offensive right now, and yet Red actually has more casualties than me. I've been the one that's been doing all the attacking. I've been shoving into him over and over again. Now, I do mess up in a little bit here and over commit to an attack. When you're attacking, you really need to pull back when you run out of morale, if not before. When your morale gets really low on an attacking unit, you might as well pull back. And I did that really good up until now, which is why he has more losses than me. You're going to see those losses shift the other way for the first time uh, on, I believe it's this attack right here. I end up leaving these units too long. So if you've noticed, pretty much each time so far I've swapped them out the moment the morale was low. About the only thing I could do with that one unit next to the city there is swap it into the city. That probably would have been good. It's going to be here. No. I mean, so we're 2.5 minutes in. He's had to continually swap units because I keep hurting units, and he has more casualties than me. Yep, there it is. See, I didn't swap those out. Those are the first time I wasn't swapping out my units, and what do you know? The damage that they started taking is just crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up now 'cause I just wanted to really show like the 2v1s in action first. But basically, in chess, there's this concept referred to as Zugzwang, which is basically the idea of the feeling your opponent has when he has to make a move and has no good options. I think that's pretty powerful. I take a little encircle there. Three of my units get caught out. One of them actually gets lost. But overall, still doing pretty solid for myself. I have a troop advantage now. He's got a little bit more troops than I do in the north, so I go ahead and I correct that. I also see him moving the heavy out, so I know to expect it towards the center. He did not cycle one of his heavies back to the city, and I did. Heavies have a lot of health, but they can take a while to heal. If anything, I should have cycled the second one back. I was a little concerned about having not enough forces. So, an example of Zugzwang, for instance, is the fact that because he keeps leaving this one city uncovered, he thinks that he's benefiting and by having an extra unit closer to the front line. But I'm getting an economic advantage on him. So, like right there, for instance, you'll actually see my funds went even because I left the city with a new unit. while I had the other one going back to cycle back, and so does his. He starts going down before I do. I think at one point in the game I do too. But at this point I have a massive, massive, massive troop advantage on him, and the location of his troops is not really to his benefit as it becomes even easier for me to get those 2-on-1 engagements that I am looking to get. See, he's got more of a half moon thing going on right now rather than a straight line. A straight line, because of the way that the segments work, it can be hard to get yourself a 2v1, but when they start to bend out of shape a little bit, there you go. At this point, I had such a large troop advantage on him that he surrenders. The other big chess concept that I kind of just want to go over there, and I guess I'll play a second game while I do it. Let's see here. Do do. Is the concept that in chess, the game is built for you to draw every time. So unless a player makes a mistake, every single game is going to be a draw. And I think that's the same basic premise here. The game would go on forever if neither player made a mistake. The reality of the matter is, it's just easy to make a mistake. It's much harder for this game to result in a draw, as eventually someone is going to break. However, when you talk artillery, that's usually the reason people think they need artillery is they need some sort of way to stop their opponent from being able to turtle up. And that's just, it's not a thing in this game. Um, that last game had a much more closed front. This is a completely open front. He went for like a crazy, like oblique order, in a lot of historical combats, you'll see people make one of their wings, one of their flanks a lot heavier, and try to punch through. And I think that's what he was going through for here. Um, but he realizes that he made a mistake, and sadly for him, he is not able to fix it. He even comes in with these blue units. He tries to close in on me, and he surrenders the moment that he realizes that even being closed in on my red units, he is not able to save all those blue. We got what there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 encircled units in total, including the one off to the side, and I think a couple had already died. I mean, I basically just took his entire army. I get what he was going for, but um, the point is, he opened up too many weaknesses. And so that is my episode on Zugzwang. I'm Horrible Hannibal, and I'll see you next time on Watch War Games.